It is 6.
All right. Okay, I was gonna say I have 6:30.
Okay, we're ready to begin.
All right, so the first item for our school board meeting this evening is we'll have the clerk call the order, please.
Okay. Dennis,
Present.
Keen,
Here.
Need, Pierre, Lay,
Here.
Barnes,
Here.
all present. The time is 6:31.
Right. Item B on the agenda this evening is the consideration of and vote on the consent agenda.
Move for approval.
I'll say all of the following items, which concern reports and items of a routine nature. Am I echoing in there or to you guys?
A little bit.
I wonder why. All right, is this better? No.
It's not bad, Kenny. It's not too bad.
Okay.
I'll give you a nod.
Well, we'll muddle through it then. All right. So the consideration of and vote on the consent agenda, all of the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of the items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following 12 items. You have the Board of Education meeting minutes. Item 1. Item 2 is the schedule of encumbrances. Item 3 are the financial reports. Item 4 is Deer Creek High School boys basketball out-of-state travel. 5 is the negotiation team is identified for the district. 6 is a request for early graduation. 7 is a memorandum of understanding with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office for the 2021 school year. 8 is the audit contract with Putnam and Company PLLC for the, it says on my, it says 2018-19. Should that be?
That would.
That's what their audit's that year.
The audit.
You see that?
You will need to make a correction on that. If it says 18-19, you're going to need to make it for the 2021 school year.
20. Okay, so yeah, the correction. So we need to correct item 8 is the contract for the 2020-2021 fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Item 9 is the contract with WCA Waste Corporation for waste management services. 10 is the contract with OBS, Oklahoma Building Services, for custodial services for the 4th and 5th grade center for the 2020-2021 school year. Item 11 is a contract renewal for OBS, Oklahoma Building Services for custodial services for Deer Creek sites. And item 12 is the contracts with Francis Tuttle for the biosciences and medicine, computer science, engineering, academy, joint program agreements, and the Gateway to Technology and Project Hope memorandum of agreement and memorandum of understanding for the 2020-2021 school year. So with that correction of item 8 for the correct dates, are there any questions or do we need anybody want to have any of the items pulled off separately? No. Okay, if not, do we have a motion to approve?
Move for approval with correction.
Item 1 through 12.
Keen,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Neves, yes, Lay,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
All right, item C is Superintendent Renette Tippin's report.
Okay, as always, it's been a very busy week. I used to talk in months, but it's been a busy month and a busy week. We've done a tremendous amount of instruction according to the state, what they've allowed us to do, and that is reinforcement of third quarter and students having an ability to raise their grades. We are concluding that this week. We've had times where individuals can go by themselves, teachers, and begin to close out their rooms and get things ready for students. I will tell you that your administrators have worked very carefully to allow students to begin this week collecting their items to take home and returning their items. So they've had very full weeks, not only with instruction, but seeing that those things happen in very isolated manners with masks and without contact and maintaining distance and following all CDC guidelines. So very full week with that. You also have some things coming up on your agenda that I think are very important. We continue to meet every week with our state superintendent. She continues to reinforce that they do not plan to close the entire state down in the fall, but if there are incidents of COVID or exposure or families that have exposure that might bring that into the school, we could have classrooms, we could have sites, we could have a district that might have to close if those incidents arise. So she's made it very clear that this fall we have to start teaching new standards and do full instruction. What we were given for finishing the spring was very clear. It was to allow students to reinforce those third quarter standards and raise their grades. So we're beginning to prepare, and some of the items tonight are part of that preparation to be able to fluidly move from classroom to blended to virtual to blended back in the classroom, so that Deer Creek can offer a full school program to a student no matter where they are, whether they're having to learn at home or whether they're learning at school. So the learning services team has met several times. They've also had a meeting, 2 meetings at least, with the principals. I met with the lead principals today. They've met with a team of teachers as well to do some evaluations, and you'll hear more about that. So I'm going to really leave the rest of that up to them. We've also worked on finishing out more of our contracts, and some of those were on tonight, and you'll be voting on one later. So know that we continue to work in preparation of all of our contracts for the FY21 school year. I'm going to do a little bit for James, since tonight it's really kind of my thing, but they're predicting up now at least $135 per student cut. We're looking at a minimum of $1 million. That cut goes to our state aid. Doesn't go to all of our revenue, but it definitely goes to state aid. I want to make it clear, I've done this several times, but unfortunately, federally, they put the COVID money through the Title I formula. When they put it through the Title I formula, the range in what schools received per pupil ranges from $22 a student to $799 a student, with the majority receiving anywhere from $199 to $499. That's probably more in the average range if you took all students and pushed it together. Unfortunately for us, that is not a good way to fund it, and it definitely was extremely inequitable. There have been a large number of letters written to Congress, to our legislators, to those on the education committee, to those on the allocation committee. We've written to the State Department, we've written to COSA, the School Board Association, and they all acknowledge that those letters are correct. But we've sent a lot of letters saying the inequity in funding is not going to provide a school like Deer Creek the funds that we need to provide the devices, hotspots, training, and instruction that we need. At $29 a student, we have about $200,000. Our plan right now is to focus that on additional devices that could be checked out should we have to close down a classroom or a school site. So you will see that coming forward. We will also be putting out a flyer on devices to parents. There's some really good pricing for parents if you wanted to do a Chromebook. I think the lowest is about $200, and the screen touch is closer to $400 on a Chromebook. And certainly we have laptops and Apple products as well. So we will put out some information in hopes that they might be interested in something like that for their children in case we do run into a closure this fall. So all of that to say, we're working fast and furiously to prepare to train for summer so that we're more prepared for fall, and so that teachers have time to work on things and be comfortable with things. Should, my guess would be, fall break or later, should we have an incident of some kind, we want to be prepared for that. Again, I would just let you know that the State Department has been very clear. If you've watched the news any, they've talked a lot about meals in classrooms, running extra bus routes. All of those cost a whole lot more money, by the way. But they've also talked very much about the possibility that there will be district and site decisions in terms of school closure. So it definitely gears us up a different direction. Instruction in the fall would be new material. It would be going on the new standards plus picking up those standards that we missed in fourth quarter. So there's a lot more direct instruction that would have to occur along with having discussion groups and projects and other things. So trying to get platforms and things in place where that's easier for teachers and equitable for all students is what we're working on right now. And that's why we're looking at buying devices that could be checked out for those that don't have them. So lots of work to do this summer in terms of preparation for a traditional blended virtual mix of opportunities for our students. I really can't think of much else to share with you at this time. We're still working primarily virtually from home and will continue to do so for a few more weeks. And then we are going to be easing our faculty back into at least our administrative staff and their assistants back in. We had a plan to go back next week, but we may alter that just a little bit. We'll be discussing that tomorrow. But we're taking a very slow reentry, trying to watch how the COVID cases are going throughout the state of Oklahoma as we decide when we will move from Zoom to a big distance frame of learning. So I think that's pretty much our update and probably ready to get right on with business items, unless you have some questions.
No.
Mr. Dennis, I turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Stebbins. Our first business item this evening is item number 1, the discussion and possible vote to approve a new athletic training agreement for the 2020-2021 school year.
Few things on that. Our previous agreement for the athletic training services has expired, so it was time for us to do a new request for bids. We put out those bids on April 6th. We received 2 bids back. One of those was from McBride Orthopedic. Those were sealed bids, by the way. One was McBride Orthopedics. They were offering 2 trainers at a cost of $50,000 a year for the athletic training services. And they were going to donate $3,500 for training supplies and $3,500 for advertising to the school. Our second bid was from Mercy Orthopedics. Their bid was 2 trainers at no cost to the district for the training services, and they would donate $2,500 in training supplies and $7,500 for advertising to the school district. They also both offered, McBride was offering a $20 initial visit and x-rays. Mercy's was $25 initial visit and x-rays, and both of them offered fall clinics that would be no cost during the fall session. At this time, we would like to recommend that we take the bid for Mercy for the athletic training services.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any questions or discussions regarding the recommendation? If not, do we have a motion for approval?
I'll move for approval, Mercy contract.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second it. Was that
Barnes?
Kelly?
It was me.
Oh.
Barnes,
Okay.
Yes.
Neves, yes. Dennis,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Lay.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right. Item number 2 is the discussion and possible vote to approve an agreement with InTouch Receipting Suite.
InTouch is a receipting software that I've been hoping to get into the district for a couple of years, and we put it off until we had the staff that could make sure that we were running that correctly. This is a software that several other districts use. It allows us to take online payments and also in-person payments at the schools that will take that information and directly receipt it into our software. So it does work well with Infinite Campus. It allows us the ability to put things on our websites, and parents can go in and pay for those items, whether that be camps or donations or T-shirts. The thing that I like about it, besides that it helps with our receipting process and speeds that process up for our sites, it also eliminates a lot of the cash and checks that are out there at all of our sites. And so it's a lot cleaner for us. And I think it'd be a good product going forward, especially now that we're in this COVID era and we want less touching of cash. I know I don't use cash much anyway, but now even less with this, because you don't want to get everybody else's germs if you can keep from it. So that offers that touchless payment to our patrons.
What's the payment for? Well, like, give for example, like how they use it.
On
Example how they would use the InTouch suite.
there's different ways to use it. Right now, we'll use it just like an online payment, like if you were going to eBay and purchasing something online. It's once you see it, it's very elementary. I mean, our parents will have trouble keeping their little kids off there with a credit card if they're not careful, because it looks so easy. I mean, you just touch and basically it starts adding up your total, and then you pay with your credit card. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter if you have a parent that's going in there and they're buying something from high school, and then they're buying something from athletics, and then they're paying something for band. Once they pay for everything, it goes right into our system, and it codes it with our state OCAS codes directly, and it goes right into those bank accounts. So it's really a clean, quick process for us. And we
Is
can
that for-
expand that too.
Is that for booster clubs or just school stuff?
It'll be for the schools, but it'll
Okay.
be all the school sites. What we'll end up, we'll work to eventually, probably not anytime, this first year especially, but you can get to where you can set it up at your concession stands, you can set it up at your gates, and you can kind of speed up that process a lot. And it's just, we've gotten into the era where, a lot less people carry cash with them, and
Mhm.
I think it's a necessity to have that available. So.
Yeah.
I would agree. Thank you, James.
Mhm.
Do you have any other questions or additional discussion regarding this item? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
I'll second that.
Okay. This is Dr. Barnes. Lay,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Neeps. Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Item number 3 is the discussion and possible vote to approve the proposal from Kellogg and Sovereign for E-rate services for the 2020-2021 school year. James, that's you again.
Yes, and I think Josh is on here. He may be able to elaborate a little bit, but this is our yearly proposal for our E-rate services, and that allows us to get a lot of funding for our technology. I'll let Josh kind of expand on what that will entail this year.
Sure. So this is it's really our yearly renewal for, it's what they refer to as Category 1 services. So this would be our internet connectivity and our WAN connectivity between buildings. So we do an application every year based on what we select in an evaluation process. We submit a request to federal government, FCC, for funding. And so this is our agreement that when we receive approval for next year, we agree to pay our portion. But what we see is, since we're a 50% discount, The federal government covers 50%, and then actually the Oklahoma Universal Services Fund covers the other 50%. So there's no out-of-pocket expense to us for those services.
Okay. Do we have any questions regarding this item? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Keen,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Neebs, yes, Lay.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item number 4 is the discussion and possible vote to select a learning management system for the 2020-2021 school year. Dr. Jones?
Good evening. As Superintendent Tippins mentioned, the State Department has asked us to prepare for different types of scenarios as we plan for instruction for next year. Such scenarios could be as follows or others, but one would be teaching regular school in our brick and mortar buildings, which we would hope to do as much as possible. Another possible scenario would be including social distancing within the school building, which could mean that some students attend on Monday and Wednesday, and some students attend on Tuesday and Thursday to maintain social distancing within our classrooms. Another possibility is short-term closures and also long-term quarantine isolation scenarios. As you know, we have no idea what the future holds for us, so we have to be prepared. So we must plan for a smooth transition and in a seamless sort of way in and out of regular school. In order to plan for such scenarios, we are asking that you approve the learning management system, Canvas. The State Department has a contract with Canvas for pricing, so that helps alleviate some of the costs for us. A learning management, just for clarification, is a digital platform that is used for administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, and delivering of educational courses, curriculum, and training programs. Canvas provides specific tools for our staff members to create lessons, assignments, and assessments, and it also feeds right into Infinite Campus, our student information system. Canvas can also be accessed from any device and at any time. As you know, we utilize teacher leaders and administrators to review different systems. And according to the input, the teachers felt that Canvas will provide the most effective system for our needs. Our rollout plan for training teachers will begin next week, if approved, as we begin easing the teachers into learning the program. A train-the-trainer model will be used, and teacher leaders will have extensive training over the summer, so that there will be experts at each building and school site. Optional training for teachers will also be available to choose if they want to work on learning modules over the summer, and they will be open and available for all staff members to continue getting comfortable with the system. We will take one step at a time, easing our staff into the program so that when necessary, the transition to any scenario will be seamless. I want to share my screen with you for just a moment. Oh, it says that the host has disabled screen sharing, so I may not be able to share my.
1 second, I'll fix that for you, Diana.
Okay. That has happened the last 2 days for the first time on Zoom. I'm not sure if that was an update in Zoom.
I don't know how you guys have done it.
Go ahead and
Or
give it another shot, Diana.
Try it again. Is that what you said, Josh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay. Here's just a quick overview of Canvas.
From one-to-one and flipped classroom initiatives to social media and mobile apps, there have never been more tools for teaching and learning. But how do you get all the cool classroom technology without all the complexity? The answer is Canvas, the learning management system that makes teaching and learning easier. Maybe you saw a new app at a conference, or you want to help your students collaborate more. With Canvas, you can integrate powerful digital tools into your classroom with just a few clicks. Insert audio or video anywhere in your courses with no uploading, rendering, or worrying about compatibility. It's just there, ready for students to access from any device. Change a due date or add a new assignment, and it automatically appears everywhere, so you only have to do things once. And with Canvas's fast and efficient magic marker tool, your real-time assessments of live student work can be recorded, linked to outcomes, and uploaded to your gradebook simultaneously. And for better student tracking and reporting, Canvas's SpeedGrader aligns Common Core and state standards with rubrics and outcomes. The best part? SpeedGrader lets you view, grade, or annotate student work without ever downloading a file. If you're moving towards formative assessment, Canvas's Learning Mastery Gradebook gives you the option to monitor students' progress based on standards, not grades. The Learning Mastery for Students tab provides transparency so students and parents can follow academic progress. Now, identifying students who need extra help and empowering them to take control of their own learning has never been easier. All of the other things you do, like taking attendance, creating seating charts, and managing your classroom, Canvas makes those easier too. And with customizable notifications, Canvas connects everyone, teachers, students, parents, and administrators, in ways that are engaging and relevant for them. From kindergarten through high school, Canvas provides the platform and tools that make teaching and learning easier for the modern classroom.
Whoops. Did you have any questions?
I have a question about one of your scenarios, number 2, where there might be social distancing. Would that be K through 12, or would you more emphasis on distance learning with high school kids, or how?
Well, no, our distance and virtual learning will have to be pre-K through 12. Those were just a
Right.
scenario that was shared with us because no one really knows.
Right.
And but we will have to do initial first-time teaching with every student. And they have mentioned that they plan moving forward for state testing. And so we have to provide full instruction to our students all year long.
It's new frontiers for all of us.
Yes.
Definitely. We wish they could tell us which scenario to prepare for, but truly they just illustrate a number of those that might happen. So if the CDC and the state say you've got to be 6 feet apart and you can't do this and you can't do that, one of the scenarios is alternating days with students that they presented. All of them present a multitude of difficulties for school people and for the families. So, our hope is to open with traditional. Our hope is the summer burns this off. But if it's like the flu, we anticipate in late fall or later in the year that it could come back, and that history shows it might come back. So we're just trying to get enough practice in prior to that in the regular classroom traditionally to be able to seamlessly move in and out no matter what scenario we end up with. Whatever it is, it'll probably be new, and we'll be working around the clock to meet the needs of that particular issue and that particular time. What this tool does is lets us start now and lets teachers over time learn bits and pieces so that if we have to move in and out, they have time to get more comfortable.
Canvas is also a tool that's used in post-secondary and colleges, so that helps our students prepare for that as well.
Great.
So will we still have that IXL? Or just
Yes, those programs can be embedded into the lessons, and they would just be linked straight from there.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions?
make a motion to accept the
No.
learning management system number 4.
Second.
Keen,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Need, yes, Barnes.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, our next item is executive session. So I don't know that we have any need for that this evening. So we'll just move on down to item H, which is the discussion and possible vote on the superintendent's recommendation concerning employment as listed on the personnel schedules that were attached. So do you have a motion to approve?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Barnes,
Yes. Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Neves, yes. Motion carries 5-0.
All right, last item on the agenda this evening is adjournment.
I move for adjournment.
Second.
Barnes,
Yes.
Lay,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Neves, yes. Motion carries 5-0. The time is, oh gosh, 7:01.
Thanks,
All
Kate.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you later. Hopefully in
Bye.
person.
Good evening.
Right. All right. I hope we're in person next meeting, but we will watch all of the COVID incidents and make a decision closer to that time. That's our goal. We'll
Okay.
All right.
see you in person soon. Thank you.
Y'all have a
Thank-
good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.